Dear friends, please subscribe to my channel and please press bell button not to miss any new video notification.
So now onwards, this is the blog which we will be using. The name came as like Gurukul Analytics .wordpress.com. So this is the one we can open always, so it will come to here. So the title given is data science with Python, because our target is with Python language. This data science we are going to learn. Okay, so here FAQ I have added here, okay, for the people. So if you take first question, like for example, what is big data, what is data science, what is artificial intelligence, what is neural network, what is machine learning, deep learning, like these are so many buzzwords. You will be keep listening and sometimes will be confusing. Even sometimes people will say analytics. So whenever any HR call for job, they are also confused. Sometimes they openly asked, is that machine learning and data science same or analytics same, like that they keep asking questions because they are very confused. Actually they thought all are completely different, but all are very related. Okay, first of all, analytics, I was telling right that analytics and data science both are exactly same. Okay, so earlier we were using analytics. Now people everywhere you can say analytics word. Whenever jobs and all, very rarely you will say analytics word, but data science is the word which you will be looking at. Even IIIT, right, when they are giving they give certificate as analytics, then later they changed it as data science. Okay, because that wordings. The next thing is artificial intelligence. That I will come back to that. Data science, artificial intelligence, very closely related. I will come back to that. The next one is neural networks. Neural networks means this is completely like how human brain works. It will exactly mimic that. That is what neural networks. So that is completely different topic. So how neurons will store and how it acts, process and all. Exactly how brain works. It will try to simulate that. That is what exactly neural networks we will call. Okay. Then next one is machine learning. Machine learning means this is the part of data science. So machine learning is just part of data science, we can say. Then next one, deep learning. So deep learning, I can say deep learning and neural networks are very similar, people will use. Okay, otherwise both are same. So I am not very sure exact difference, but people will use interchangeably. People will be using deep learning or neural networks. Okay, but mostly non-technical person will use deep learning. Technical people will say neural networks. That's what I have observed in industry. Okay, then if you see machine learning, it is not a subset of artificial intelligence, because it is a machine learning is one type of artificial intelligence, we can say. Because machine learning, it is not like a programming. It is not that one program you will write so that exactly as per the program it works, then it is not machine learning. Because you are writing program, right, then that is a module. It is not machine learning. Machine learning means automatically if you give machine chance, by giving chance it will learn so that it will behave by itself. That is what machine learning. It is not programming way. It is self-learning. It is not by programmed automatically. It will learn by itself, this system. Then that's what machine learning. Okay, so it is a kind of artificial intelligence. So it is one type of artificial intelligence. Why it is called artificial intelligence? Artificial means what? It is man created. Why it is called artificial? Because it is mimicking man brain. So that is the reason it is mimicking. So this is machine learning. Okay, then here deep learning, it is not AI. So but it is only thing, just it is a path to true AI. But see, people are interchangeably they will be using, but to get more detail, I have kept here Quora link. These have more details. Okay, but do not worry. So what we can see is mostly in industry. Okay, whatever people they will use, right? So people will call for different types of jobs. One is they will ask machine learning, do you know? That is one type of job. Then second thing, they may ask whether deep learning also you will know, like advanced people might ask. Then after that, do you know text mining? That is for text processing, and also like that is called NLP, also natural language processing. So these are the three areas people will can ask. Okay, then again let me tell again, there are only three types actually. One is machine learning, second one is deep learning, third one is text mining. Okay, that's what people will ask. In machine learning again, it may be like image identification also will be there, that is image related, and also video analytics also will be there. Okay, and also like normal type analytics, anything like numerical, categorical, something like that. So which means normal machine learning will be there. Then after that, image related will be there, video related will be there. Okay, those are three types. Then deep learning, text mining. Only these three you will be using. As you see here, the first course on Udemy is for machine learning with Python. Second course is for deep learning. Okay, and text mining, it is also covered under machine learning, some part of it, but they have separate course as well. But that is fine. Okay, like chatbot like that, they will explain further. We'll come back to that. Okay, so only those are the three types. So I will also add whatever I explained here again here, those three types which industry will talk about instead of these buzzwords that will confuse a lot. Okay, this is the first question I'm answering. Then immediate next question is which language to use, whether you have to use Python or R language, SAS. That is what people will ask. Okay, so with my experience, this is not exact numbers. Whatever I felt, I kept because based on my experience. Okay, so what I see is when IIIT I have joined about nearly 4 years back, they started with R language, their data science course. Okay, then after 1 year, they realized that the industry is moving towards Python. Then they started coming with Python. That is what it happened. Okay, but the reality is initially SAS was very famous. Actually, this is developed by IBM. Only drawback is it is like GUI based kind. There is no programming here like R and Python. It is completely GUI kind. Okay, so what happened was after 2016, so compare with SAS, R was dominating, then R has more audience than SAS, then R was dominating. After that, eventually what happened, Python has took over. So when I was searching job, I clearly observed that people were more asking for Python than R. But any language is fine, they were asking Python and R. But recently, then mostly industry started moving. Also, what I heard from one of the startup, they work completely in only data science. What I heard is, so they said don't use R and use Python. The reason they mentioned is R is not up to date, but R is dedicatedly for statistics for that matter. But what they commented is it is not up to date, all the packages and all. That is what I heard comment. So that is the reason for their startup completely Python they have taken. And also they said Python is very updated packages they have. So that is the reason they have said. Okay. So whatever reason happening, I see that industry is moving towards more Python. Okay. And also one more thing was, so in my present company, I see that 80% people are using Python and only 20% people are using R, and nobody using in India SAS, but my client at Malaysia Bank, they are using SAS, but they are also slowly we are trying to convert into Python and R eventually. That's what it is happening. So my word goes to for Python. Okay. Now the question again, if you are new to data science, then if you don't know any of these three language, then definitely our word goes to Python. Okay. Also like freshers and all, for them Python is the best. For example, the person is already in data science with R, he did so much, then if you are a fresher, then it is fine to stay back with R. But still, if you have time and bandwidth, it is good to even to migrate to Python, and also good at two languages. But if you have 3 to 4 year experience data science, they may expect both language, but one language good is fine. But as we see here, majority people moving towards Python, so good to slowly migrate towards Python, but R still works good, that is fine. That is what I feel. Okay. So this I mentioned why, because when I was trying jobs, only one company in Bombay, they asked me exclusively for SAS they have to work, because IBM was the client they asked. Then I have rejected that because I know future will be difficult for SAS. So only one job call out of some 20 calls I observed SAS they were asking. Otherwise only they were okay with either R or Python. That is what I have seen. Okay. These are the things. So for details about more about these three, the all different way, you can go through this blog. Very good actual analytics with there. They have compared very nicely. So in terms of performance, everything they given very in detail. So if you are more interested, you can look at it, but that is fine. Okay. It's optional to go through. That is the thing. Okay. Then my next question, third one, goes to which tool to use. Whether you will use Python terminal, or you will use Jupyter notebook, or you will use Spider tool or PyCharm, like that, many questions, right? Yeah. Again, suppose if the person is Python developer, then they will be using either Spider or PyCharm, or some people initially in programming, people will start using Python terminal directly. While learning, right, in college or freshers, what they do, Python terminal only, anybody will start there only. After that, slowly people will move to Spider and PyCharm. Okay. But I can tell for practice and all, Python terminal is good because it will show errors and all. That way we will learn, I can say. Okay. Yeah. So come back to organization level. So in my previous organization, when I was working there, I saw that Spider we are using. Okay. So Spider is one of the good tools. Suppose you are using Java and all, you may be knowing about Eclipse, right? It is similar to that, the Spider. So you can go for Spider. Okay. Then later I saw that few people like what I mentioned, startup in data science, right? Then I saw that they were using PyCharm actually. So one benefit I saw in PyCharm is, so these Python standards, if any errors, warnings, it will show here. Means you can learn very good programming with PyCharm, because when you type it, any warning is there, error is there, immediately it will show. So you can write very standard, better code. So because PyCharm will warn you. Okay, there is some Python standard called PEP8. So it will follow that Python standard rules, PEP8. So that is one advantage we will get if you use that. Okay. So currently in my organization, people are using Jupyter Notebook because it is very easy, look and feel very simple. So very easy to explain. So that all advantages it is having. So up to you whether, but for any explanation, any tuitions, classes happening, right, in the colleges and all, very easy to explain with Jupyter Notebook. But better to have exposure with both, like Jupyter Notebook and also one of the tool at least like Spider or PyCharm. It is good because we don't know in your next organization which tool they may use. So we should minimum should be good at, means at least used to it, either Spider or PyCharm. So I can say start with PyCharm because good programming practice will get. But again, I saw that there is some 30 days trial period. After that, we have to pay for that. But you can use it then after 30 days as well. Some 30 minutes it will be open. Anyway, you can play around with this tool when you get some time. Okay. But my all explanation, everything goes with Jupyter Notebook because of its easiness. Okay. Again, among these three tools, to know the difference, I have added one more in DataCamp. This very good explanation they given. What are the top 5 tools, and also one more 2 links I have used. Just you can walk through once. So what differences to know further. Okay. Then the fourth question is, so in data science, what are the real world problems? How many types are there in data science? Then I can say only 3 types. One is classification, second one is regression, third one is clustering. Means all our real world problems can be categorized into these 3 categories itself. Okay. Then next question comes, what is this classification means first? I can say simply predict yes or no. For example, whether you will take FD or not, or whether the patient, whether he is having cancer or not, yes or no. So those type of questions comes under classification problem. That is yes or no. So also in my present company in banking industry, I saw that 80% of the problems are classification. That is very good news. So if you learn better classification, then you are done 80% of your projects you can deliver with the classification. Then recently I got one more project which was related to regression actually. So that was related to, for example, in ATM in one day, how much money it can, it may people will withdraw money. You want to predict, suppose 1 million or how much it is, 50K, like that. Some number, like some number you have to predict, like some quantity. Then in that case, that problem becomes regression problem. Okay. That is regression problem. Then third type of problem is clustering. Clustering is just, it is a grouping the similar type of data. For example, news articles are there. So some news will be related to politics. Some news will be for entertainment. Some will be for health. So like that, if it will separate as a group, then it will problem comes under as a clustering. Okay. So these are the 3 types of problems we will categorize. Okay. So to know more details about these 3, then in Medium one good article is there to explain what are these 3 types. It is very good article. You can walk through once. Okay. So that will be good to go. So then the next question people usually ask is Kaggle. This is the more buzzword in data science people will use. What is Kaggle? So this is a competition platform to solve the business problems by different organizations. What they will give problem, then they have very good prize money also. Who got first three, they will have good prize money they have, because this is the real world problem, real business problem which some of the organizations face. They want to solve using this Kaggle platform. So that is the reason it has that much importance for that. Okay. Also, there are some other other competition platform, not only Kaggle, like KD Nuggets, Analytics Vidya. There are different platforms. So once we completed the course on data science, then people can go through and try to learn from other people's code and competition. So this is good platform. The next one is, what is this Titanic data set? Actually, this is very classical problem. So most people will start any data science means with this data set Titanic. This is like, as we saw that this Titanic, what it will do is, who will survive? When we have Titanic movie, right? That same thing here. In that, who has survived, who have not survived? That is the business problem. So you have to predict which customer, which passenger will survive, which passenger don't survive. That is what the problem we have to solve. So that is the thing. So to know more about this, then we can go to this link which I have given, what exactly Kaggle will do to know more. Okay. Then next question FAQ would be roles and responsibility of data science. Here, what happens is, suppose that depends upon the company. Suppose it is small company, there is only one person they want. Then in that case, you are the one person, then it will be completely technical, because there is no team, right? So then you have to be hands-on and you should be completely 100% technical. Okay, that is one scenario. Suppose there is another scenario like my current organization. So I'm working as a lead and I have 5 members. Here it is a different scenario. I no need to directly code, but I have to guide and mentor those team members, which technique to use, which approach is better. So those type of technical guidance is expected if you are a lead or senior. Okay, again it depends. As I mentioned, even though you are a lead, if you join single person while building the team, or initially you may need to code. So that depends based on the team, whether you want to lead the team or you want to as an individual contributor. So at the time of joining the job, they will mention whether it is an individual contribution or it is a leading type of job or it is a managing job or how it is. So we have to be clear upon. So here our goal should be to become individual contributor always, so that if required we can lead or manage as well. So that is the goal we should be having. Okay. Then next one, besides Python, which other tools we may need to know? Then obviously to handle with the database, because data always stores in DB most of the time, right? Not in CSV, Excel, few times only we store, right? So to interact with that, we should know some language that is like either SQL or a Hive. Okay. So you should be good at, but these both are very similar. Okay. This Hive is a big data related script. Okay. So you should be good at SQL or Hive. Again, that based on the company, like my previous company, they were using only SQL, but in current company, they are using Hive. So again, that depends. But if you are good at one, it is fine, either SQL or Hive, then based on the company, you can just migrate very easily. But mainly the focus is on the joining the tables, because there will be 3 or 4 tables. You need to take the columns in the table. So mostly you will end up in joining the tables. So at max, you have to know how to join the tables. Anyway, we will be taking one session on how to join tables, where real time how it will be. So I will be taking one session on that. Okay. Then next one is which tool to use to present to the business. Then we have different options, like Tableau may be one option to use, or Liquid is another option we may use tool, or PPT, that is Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. Okay. So currently in my organization, they are using PPT because it is very easy, and it is also, I don't say free, but MS Office default they will give, right, for MS Office. So it will be cheaper compared to these other tools, right? So again, that depends on your organization, whether they are using only PPT or Tableau or ClickView, that depends. Okay. So other than PPT, these two are not mandatory, but if you know, it is good. So, but Tableau is very easy, like 1 week, 2 week effort. If we keep either any Udemy or some other course, if you take, you can be good at. But again, if required, you can learn. but that is optional. We can say you can keep in your second list, not as a primary skill. That is fine. Okay, I can say. Then next one, which deployment tools to use? We have so many, right? Amazon is offering AWS. Then Microsoft is they're having Azure platform. Then Google is using Google Cloud. So which one to use? These three are competitors. Actually, in industry, usually people will go either AWS or Azure. Okay, because Google Cloud they are very late in this game actually. So they are taking time, but they are pinching in, but takes some more time to come in. Okay, then again, which is popular, whether AWS or Azure? I can see most people are going to AWS. That was more matured, but it is again a debate. So it depends on the company. Some people will go with AWS, some might go with Azure.
Hope you liked it. Please press like button below the video. Thanks for watching.